What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Happy Monday. Did everyone have a great weekend? So today we are going to talk about troubleshooting our ads. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do that over the next 2 days. We have a very small group, so lots of opportunity. So the only thing that I ask is that you guys have gone through the material. No one's asking any newbie questions, right? Can we all agree? Yes, if we're newbies, we probably should go through the content so that we don't slow the troubleshooting stuff that we've got going, right? So that's all I'm going to ask over the next 2 days is that you're prepared. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is I kind of want to get a temperature on the room over what ads are working for you, which ads are not working for you. That way, like, we can really customize what we're going to do over the next 2 days. Do you guys feel like you need help with your power content ads? Do you guys need help with your conversion multipliers? Do you need help with your boosted posts? Do you need help with your hot 7? Like, I am here for you guys over the next 2 days to help you guys however you need be. Okay, so Kara says my ads are hitting KPI but not getting conversations. Are you talking about your power content, your conversion multipliers? Let's be very specific whenever we're talking about ads, because there are so many different types of ads that are built to do different things. My ad is working to the warm stack. I need help with the content for the conveyor belt. Okay. Okay, cool. So Kara, when you say that you're not getting conversations, are you talking about the conversion multipliers then? You can unmute yourself. That's fine. We're all having a conversation here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I've tried several value bombs at this point, and I'm just not getting conversations. They're hitting the other KPI. I'm getting low cost for 95%. And I actually have another ad set up getting them to a free workshop, and I'm getting signups for that, but I'm not getting the conversations.
Okay. How many have you tried so far?
Value bombs, I think I've
Yeah.
tried 4.
Yeah, just keep trying, right? Because here's the other thing, right? Once you have this ads ecosystem with the conveyor belt running, you're going to get people who are going to reach out who didn't before because they hadn't seen enough content from you. So that's why every single week we want to be launching new conversion multipliers, even if we're not getting any conversations, because then once you have a huge warm audience, you can actually go and relaunch those to warm traffic. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I did start 3 new ads after our conversation the other day, the over the shoulder, and those
Awesome.
KPIs look good. I started them think Thursday. So yeah, so just keep running, just keep going.
Yep, 100%. So,
Mhm.
because one of the things that we have to remember is that our most sophisticated audience, they're just going to sit there and consume content. So, in my opinion, if all of my KPIs show that people are watching my videos to the end, I am super happy. Like, even if no one is commenting on anything, like, I can see the engagement, right, on all of my ads. And so that's the main thing that I want you guys to understand is that, like, we just want to make sure that every single piece of content that we put out there is engaging, because at the end of the day, right, there's a number of reasons as to why people might not be commenting. They might not be ready to comment. They might not trust that spending time with you in Messenger is worth it yet, right? And so that's why sometimes we just have to keep going. But especially when it comes to conversion multipliers, it might not be the thing that they need at that moment in time. And so that's why, like, if I'm not getting conversations, I'm launching a conversion multiplier every single day until I'm getting conversations. That's just the work ethic, right? That goes behind it. It's like I'm launching, right? Because it's a volume game. Right. And so it's like, when my students in Lean on Laurel tell me, hey, I'm not having conversations after 90 days, I'm like, you better show me 90 conversion multipliers right now. Otherwise, we're not following the strategy. Right. And so that's kind of the game. But remember, conversion multipliers don't have to be Reels videos. They could also be 2-step posts with, images and stories and those types of things too. We just have to figure out what works with our audience.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. And we can take a look at some too. If you feel like, hey, I think I'm giving away a good value bomb, I'll come back and then we can actually start to kind of go through everything. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over a document I made a while back, but it's still so freaking valuable. Like, even just now, right? And so I'm going to actually show you guys the metrics to make sure that you guys are getting the highest quality leads, because here's the thing, right? If we put out junk ads, Facebook's going to give us junk traffic. And so this is why I always want to strategically put out ads and strategically put out content. And so today I'm going to show you guys the KPIs to actually make sure that you are putting out the highest quality traffic and when to know whenever to actually pull it, right? The first thing that I want you guys to understand is, I have so many people that are like, I could be spending money on an ad that is producing nothing because all of the other sales are coming from organic. And I had to remind this student, hey, you're missing the point of ads. Ads are to remind people that you exist. Let's say someone sees your ad, then starts to follow you. They see a video, you do it organically, and they start a conversation with you. Did the ad not work because the conversion happened in Messenger, right? It's a great reminder, right? I get students that message me all the time. They're like, Laurel, I need to shut off my ads. They're not working. And then I'm like, well, how are you getting Messenger conversations? Oh, people are following me. Where are they following you from? Oh, my ads. Oh, right. It's one of those things too, where I had a student 2 weeks ago in Lean on Laurel. I had to like talk her off of a ledge because she's like, I'm so frustrated because I am getting nothing from my ads. I'm like, well, can we talk about that for a minute? I was like, what's been happening as you've been running ads? And she's like, well, I mean, people around town are telling me that they're seeing my ads. And I'm like, you're running ads in a very small town and people are saying, hey, I'm seeing your ads over and over again. That's working, right? Like, and so a lot of us don't realize that the ads are working, but you're so focused on what's inside the ads manager. Oh my God, I'll give you a perfect example. One of my Lean on Laurel students, we were laughing about this. She's like, I literally just had a guy from Nigeria buy my high ticket coaching program. I wasn't even targeting people in Nigeria. And I was like, well, that's interesting. I was like, maybe you should ask him where he found you. And he said that he had found her through the ads library. He was looking for inspiration on AI ads and just happened to come across her ads in the ad library. And then what happens whenever you click on an ad? Facebook starts showing more content, and so a lot of times people just don't think, oh, I might not get that direct response from a Facebook ad. I have another student who she gets most of her clients from live presentations, but guess where she gets live presentation invites? Because they see her ads everywhere. She might not be getting clients directly from her ads, but she's getting booked on stages where she is booking clients, and all of that stems from her ads being everywhere. And so I think it's just such a missed opportunity, right? Because if you look at this is a screenshot from the day that my business hit 7 figures for the first time. What is Facebook telling me right now? That I pretty much suck, right? That I've only got 0.51. That means I'm getting back 51 cents for every dollar. I should be losing money. And you could see how much I spent to make that million, $36,890, right? So that is not telling a very true story, right? And so most of my conversions, guys, even today, do not happen in the ads manager. They happen in messenger conversations, whether someone has seen an ad and is introducing me to someone, or I've done a live training in someone else's group. Think about this. On the last ad training that we did, I told one of the students that one of the best ways to actually add fire to your ads is borrow other people's audiences, right? And what do you think is going to happen if you're borrowing someone else's audience and you email these people saying, hey, could I do a free training in your group? And they're like, oh my gosh, I see your ads all the time, right? All of a sudden, instant authority. And so we have to stop thinking about ads as like this, oh my gosh, I'm looking at the ads manager and I'm not getting any results, when in reality, we're getting results. Let's see. Terrence said, my employer doesn't trust me with their pixel. I think they do have tens and thousands of email addresses, considering their deeper social proof, even though I'm starting from zero. Is their offer still quicker to cash than my own? That's a different conversation, right? We're all on a different topic today. But definitely throw that back in the Ask Laurel thread or whatever, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. I just want to really stay on topic today. So what we want to make sure of is that we are making sure that, hey, is Facebook showing our ads? And or our ads stopping the scroll? Okay, so that's what we're gonna talk about today, and then we'll be able to go in and actually troubleshooting, right? First thing that we have to understand, and this is so hard for people to understand, so hard. The best targeting is going to begin at the ad level, right? Like, I have a student here that's right now on this call, and she's worried about her targeting of these women that she's trying to reach. And I'm like, it all begins with your ads. Like, Facebook targeting is pretty much just going to depend on the algorithm, right? Like, the days of being able to choose our targeting is going away every single day. Some people don't even have the opportunity to even select anything but Advantage Plus, right? And yeah, like Jillian says, and now some do broad. So messaging is 100% the key, right? If I am trying to, and Lizette, Dr. Lizette, I hope you don't mind me using as an example because it's such a great one, right? Dr. Lizette's really great at what she does. Like, she helps women who are in leadership executive positions, right? And so what I keep saying is we have to avoid using language that will appeal to different types of people, right? So I'm gonna use this as an example because this is one of the fatal flaws that I see when people are trying to target on Facebook, right? If you say, hey, if you start talking about a woman who's in a managerial position, and her employees are disrespecting her every single day at work, and her boss is like really writing her, making her work weekends, right? You would think like, okay, cool, that's messaging enough to attract a whole bunch of executive women, wouldn't you say? Yeah. But what would it also attract? A woman who's the manager at McDonald's too, right? Sounds very familiar. Burnt out employees treating her like shit. Could say the same, they could look like very two similar things written on paper, right? And so what we need to do is we need to ensure that when we are talking on our ads and we're talking to a very specific person, we have to dig deeper. Like, what are the symptoms that are happening every single day, right, to that person who's in a leadership position, right? And so that's one of the main mistakes that I see people make whenever they are trying to lead with the content that's in the ad, is they're not being specific enough. Like, whenever people are scrolling through the news feed, we need to make them stop and say, this is me and I need to know more, right? And so if we are doing this for our power content, right, these are the metrics that we want to hit. We want to make sure that we're running a video view campaign. You can run it as a straight up engagement on the ad. I just find that power content does a little bit better with video views versus engagement on the ad. We want our hook rate to be 40% or more. The way that we get the hook rate is just simply dividing the 3-second video views by impressions. Hold rate 15 seconds or more. We want that to be 8%, and your cost per 25% view needs to be under $1, but that is just the starting KPI. Okay, because I have a lot of people that were like, well, Laurel, my KPI is my cost is under $1, but how much does your cost per 25% view need to be in order for you to reach your 500 people added to your invisible list? If you only have $5 a day to spend, your cost per 25% view needs to be between 5 cents and 7 cents if you only have $5 a day in order to add 500 new people to your invisible list. Does that make sense? Because that's the thing, that's the calculation that a lot of people forget to do, is that you literally have to do the math, right? If you've got $10 a day to spend, well, you could probably spend a little bit more for a 25% view, but the goal is to get that 25% view as low as possible. I am always launching new power content to see if my cost per 25% view can get lower and lower and lower. That's my thing, is I'm trying to get it because I'm cheap. I don't want to pay. I'm the opposite of what gurus. I don't puff my chest up and say I spend all of this money on ads. I want to say I don't fucking spend hardly anything on ads, right? And so I'm consistently trying to get my cost per 25% view under my highest cost per 25% view, so that I can spend more money and get more views, right? So that's for video view ads. Now, what does it look like for engagement type ads or click ads, right? And all of these, I'm going to give you guys this document, so don't worry, it shows you how to actually put all of this stuff. It's also in the curriculum too, if you have a copy of the ROAS Accelerator Playbook, how to set up these metrics are in there. What do we look for when it comes to conversion or messenger ads? Okay. If it is a video ad, I'm still looking at the hook rate, but if it's a static image ad, I'm wanting that CTR all to be as high as possible. Like we're looking at 8% if you're in the internet marketing space. If you were in a very specific niche, I would say like 3%. Now this is going to vary, but here's what you need to know. The higher the CTR all, the higher percentage of every single metric in the funnel gets better. So for instance, right? So let's say that I'm running an ad, a webinar, right? And my cost per lead is over $8, but my CTR all is 3%. If I can get that CTR all up to 8%, all of a sudden my cost per lead is going to get lower. My cost per click is going to get lower. So that's why I like to look at two things for ads. For video, I like to look at the hook rate. For static image ads, I like to look at the CTR all, because the higher the CTR all, the more percentage of people are stopping the scroll. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, most of my ads, those are the two metrics that I'm looking at. Are people seeing my ads, right? You know, whenever it comes to retargeting, you know, I like to tell you guys, like, I hardly look at the metrics for retargeting at all, because they're like breadcrumbs, right? If I see an ad for Kara and I don't do anything, and then the next day she shows up in my newsfeed and I watch a little bit of her video, and then I see another ad, I see another ad, I see another ad, I'm still not watching the videos, but I'm seeing her everywhere. And then like on the 22nd ad, I purchased. Which of those ads worked? They all did, right? And so that's one of the things that I really want you guys to understand, is that all of these ads are working together in order to get people to the final action that we want to do. So Kara said the CTR all does or does not apply to videos. It can, right? Just know that your CTR all is going to be around the same as your hook rate, right? Your hook rate's going to be like 40% plus, and your CTR all, you want that to be as high as possible. Just think of a CTR all is the thumb stop, just like your hook rate is the thumb stop, right? And
So
so,
can I ask a question around that?
yeah.
My hook rates for that I'm looking at are 62 and 78, but my CTRs are practically non-existent. So what does that tell me?
Well, your video views, that's all that matters, right? If you're looking at your video views, that's all that matters, is that the hook rates are above.
Okay, so I don't need to worry about this.
I don't look at CTRLs unless it's a static image ad.
Okay,
I'm looking at my hook rate and my hold rate, because what's the most important thing is, are not only people stopping the scroll, are they watching the first 15 seconds, and how far down the video are they making it, is what I'm looking at.
Okay,
Right?
thank you.
And so those are the two things. Like even for boosted posts, like if I'm doing a video, I'm still looking at the hook rate. If I'm looking at the static image ads, I'm also looking at the CTR all. Now, I'm not looking as far as like, well, are people making it to the, I just want people to see me everywhere, like in the newsfeed. So those are the two main metrics that I'm looking at for retargeting, is hook rate and CTR all. Am I interested to see if people are consuming my content? Abso-freaking-lutely. And if I do come across a video like through a boosted post and I'm like, oh, this video is getting people to watch all the way to the end, I'm probably going to switch it out to a more evergreen ad. And so those are the two, like I said, those are the two main KPIs that I'm looking at, because at the end of the day, we just got to get those people to consuming that 7 hours of content, right? 11 different touch points across 4 different platforms. Yeah, so TC said some ad accounts now don't even let you pay at the ad set level. It's just at the campaign level now. You should still have the ability to switch between, you might be talking about advantage shopping campaigns, because advantage shopping campaigns only allow you to pay like at the campaign level. So you might want to check that. Manual setup should still allow you to switch back and forth between ad set budget optimization and CBO. Let's see, Kara says, do you turn off the ones that are higher per 25% after 23 days or another time? Are you doing the 7-day flywheel? That's my question to you.
I'm not switching them out every 7 days, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, so the flywheel, what are we doing? Like we're going around and we're like saying, okay, day 1, day 2, day 3. That's why I created the flywheel, because it makes it an easier way to like be able to optimize. Because a lot of you guys just need the practice, right? Like you need to just like create new videos, get the practice. And that's why I like the 7-day flywheel, especially for newbies for the first 90 days, because it does get you on a pattern of creating one new piece of content almost daily, unless you're like hitting it out the park for every piece of content, you know? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So I'm looking, so I'm going to go back to the first question that I asked. Let me know here who's having issues with power content, who's having issues with conversion multipliers, who's having issues with your offer ads. I'm just kind of trying to get, I know Mike, I think, said power offer ads. Does everyone have ads running? Kind of afraid that you guys aren't putting anything in the chat. Like, everyone has ads running, right? You should be. If you're in this program, you should have ads running. Okay, cool. Cool. Sabrina's like, power content, good. Okay. Okay. So let's actually, Mr. Mike, let's go ahead and let's pull up your ads. Let's start to roll up our sleeves and let's get some stuff. Would it just help for me to just go down and like, let's fix people's ads? I think that everyone could get value out of that.
Can you hear me, Laurel?
I can.
Okay, awesome. So let me share my screen and I need to open my ad manager, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but by the way, so that you know, right now, just a second. I'm running only power offer ads because they keep me busy enough. I don't even have time to do everything else. So I know there's also the chance of, what happens when they stop working, but right now they're producing results. So that's what I wanted to let you know in terms of focus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So what KPIs is the power offer hitting and which KPIs are they not? What's the goal of the power offer ad?
Okay, so it's a straight book a call. So the ad, landing page, book a call.
Okay.
I have a filter in terms of an application form before them booking a call.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so let me get. Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call up on me like this, but that's great.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. If anyone has any ads to look at, let's go ahead and pull them up. That's the best way. And, like, even, like Dakisha said, she's not having any ads issues. It's cool just to kind of see, because when you do have ad issues, you're like, oh yeah, I saw Laurel fix that on that call, right?
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so what I'm running right now is a static image with text ads. I tried running a video with the same content of a short ad, but somehow it didn't perform at all. So tell me where you want to go.
It doesn't look like you're having issues with these ads. They're getting meeting invites.
Yeah, I'm getting a cost per call booked at about $40, which is good, but can I get it even lower than this? That's the question.
Is this a cold traffic?
Yeah, ice cold traffic.
You're good. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't touch anything about this.
Because I hear you that the status quo doesn't exist, right? What could work today could not work tomorrow. So I'm keen on testing new things.
Let's not fix what's not broken. That's my rule of thumb, right?
Okay, so can we add to so we're gonna keep what's working? And if I wanted to
I would keep adding 20% to the budget every single day, as long as this is performing.
Okay, so just growing what I have without necessarily testing other variations like video ads or reels or things like that.
Are you like, what's the constraint that you're trying to fix? Are you not getting enough booked calls, or?
I am. As I said, my schedule is quite busy right now. So if this thing were to keep on going like this, I would just increase the budget and be happy for a good while.
Yeah. Then I would do that for now.
Okay, then all set. Thank you so much.
I would do that. Yeah. I would see, guys, like a lot of times, like people are just like, I need to change something. Sometimes you don't. Like, this system was designed as a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's like, if there's nothing broken with it, there's nothing to fix. If you're getting calls for lower than $40, that's freaking good to cold traffic. Like, industry standard is $400 to $700.
Oh, I remember when I was running these webinars. I mean, you just saved me. I'm not kidding. When I discovered you and when you introduced me to Power Offers, that was a game changer for which I will be eternally grateful to you, Laurel.
Oh my gosh. And you've got the rest of the ecosystem running with that, right?
Well, I've started. I will say though, I mean that's a different discussion than because I do believe that the ecosystem may work better when people are problem aware, solution aware. But this is a conversation maybe for another time if you want.
Well, no,
Or
you should have my ecosystem running right now, like the entire thing. Like if you were asking me how to lower that cost per book call, it's getting the ecosystem up and running. Like that's where you're going to see the $5, $6 calls.
okay, because whenever they have power content, then you are able to retarget them, and then obviously your cost will go down. So I ran some power
Well,
content, but
the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt is the secret sauce.
right, but it keeps you already busy enough. If I were to have even more people, I wouldn't be able to manage it because right now it's a one-man show.
Yeah. But you could lower the cost and have to you see here where you got to start thinking, right? Like, wouldn't it be nice if you could enroll people without having to get on a sales call?
Yes. Okay.
Why aren't you using the conveyor belt? Because that's exactly what that's built to do.
So the power content that I run, I didn't run much of it. I think I just tried 2 or 3 times. I was hitting all the KPIs, including the cost per 25% views, but it was
I'm talking about the
stuck around.
conveyor. I'm talking about the conveyor belt.
Right,
Like,
but power content is part of a conveyor belt, right?
The boosted post strategy.
So what you're saying is I could already create a retargeting list based on all the people who interacted with my ad or the landing page and do boosted posts to those people.
Yeah, I would literally do like the boosted post training that I did the other day. Like I would be rocking and rolling with that like the boosted post. Like you're missing out on so much by not running the ecosystem because the entire ecosystem is built to lower ad spend over time.
Okay,
like
so
you could literally be spending less money on booked calls.
okay, and I would be using those boosted posts to the targeted audience that was created with the power offer ads.
Just follow the ecosystem training. It literally lays it out step by step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Laurel. Appreciate it.
Yeah, huge stuff, Mike. Like, congratulations on what you've done so far because that's really hard to do. That's why I'm like, dude, ecosystem is gonna make that even better.
Noted.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Kara, let's pull up your power content. And I'm gonna have you walk me through which ones you should keep on.
Okay. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. No, this is the fun stuff.
Okay. All right. These are the 4 that I have running right now. These 3 I started last week and I turned some others off.
Awesome.
What day was what day was the boosted post workshop?
Thursday.
Okay, so I must have turned these on Thursday afternoon. So I'm looking at these and this one's doing really well at 12 cents per 25%. This is the one I was questioning turning off.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're getting one at 12 cents. Like, do the math on that. If you allocated the budget from this ad to that other ad, you'd be rocking and rolling.
And then would you also turn the 61 cent off?
I would reallocate all of my budget to the one that's getting 12 cents to like speed up the process of getting your invisible list.
Okay, so that was my other question is, do I not need to have multiple of those?
You don't need to. No,
Okay, so
you
I
just
can
need
just have one.
You just need one like I like to have 3 because I like to segment my audience based upon like different awareness of, problems, but you don't have to.
Okay, so you would say turn those 2 off, reallocate all my budget to the top one and be good.
I would. It would speed up your ability to get warm traffic.
Okay, thank you.
You could probably get 3 to 4 times your ad spend with the 12 cents one versus the 75-cent one.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Jasper.
Hey, Laurel, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Cool. Oh, wow.
These are my favorite calls. Looking at y'all's ads.
All right, let me share my screen real quick. Yeah, so is this it? Yeah, this is it. So these are my 3 power contents I have running right now. Okay. I have this one here, this empty cup one, which absolutely slaps for whatever reason. So if you go maximum lifetime on this, 54% hold rate, cost per 25%, 5p.
So let's start with what is the issue we're wanting to fix? Like, what is the question?
The question is, do a bit similar to Mike, do I need to do anything I don't get very many comments on these things. Is that a problem, or is that not really what these are for?
See, this is where I really want you guys to understand so I'll ask the group, do we care if we get comments on power content?
I think the answer is no.
Why not?
Yeah. Because it's just to build the audience, and the conversion multipliers are more for the comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. In which case, I've only ever really made one power content that does as well as. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. I mean, your numbers look really good. That's why I was asking what the constraint is that you're trying to solve.
It's more just clarity on if I have a constraint, because otherwise, am I allowed to move into asking a question about conversion multipliers as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So these are doing relatively well. Like I said, this empty cup one's getting 5p for 25% view, which is pretty cool. But then on the conversion multipliers, these are also doing pretty well from so the ones that are running right now, these top three. Hook rate's pretty good. I think the hold rate's pretty good. Cost per 90 is 23p, 11p, 33p. But if I go to my comments on these, where comments does matter, it is so like £8.71 per comment, 35 comments since the start of the month. And I've seen somewhere you're talking about 100 comments per month, which I'm like not on track to be doing.
So this is important to know, right? How many conversations a week do you need to have in order to hit your goal?
You mean like sales wise?
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 100 a week, a bit more than that, between 100 and 150 or something.
Okay, so if you need to have 100 conversations a week, then we need to figure out what conversion multiplier is going to get us to those 100 conversations a week, and these are not doing it, right? So we have to try new ones.
Okay, fair enough. Because these are the best ones I managed. This is me running 10 out of 10 right now. So yeah, more.
Yeah, you wanna pull up one of your conversion multipliers just so we can kind of see. If I remember right, you had some pretty badass ones, like as far as like editing.
So you said that was a top of picture of me. Embarrassing. Okay, so the ones we got right now. Which one should I show you first? So I have this one. This is probably the one that's doing best. Should I show you one that's doing best or the one that's doing worst?
Yeah, no, let's take a look at the one that's doing the best so that we can kind of see, like, so before you play that, one of the things that I like to do is I like to look at, okay, what is the small win that we're looking at, right? Like every single piece of content, you're going to see one small win in it, whether it's hitting KPIs or not. So what I like to do is I like to look at the best piece of content and say, okay, what's working, but is there a way that we can optimize this, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at it and let's see if there's any optimization points in this.
Cool.
How to stop.
Can you hear that?
I already know. Do you want to stop it? Who wants to be a rock star and tell me what he could do to get more comments on this? It's in the training. Yep, Astriana. Nailed it. Banner at the top. Tell them what you leave the CTA on the screen the entire time at the top.
The whole time?
It's going by so fast, yeah. Like it's going by so fast. One of the easy wins that you can do is literally just leave the CTA up the entire time.
Okay, fair. Okay, so yeah, I had it at the start, but not the whole way through.
Yeah, it's going by so fast. You have to remember, like, these videos are like really fast. Okay. Like I didn't even have time to read what you wanted me to comment for just now.
Fair enough. Okay. Should we keep watching this one, or do you think that's a takeaway, full stop?
I mean, yeah, if you have some more to look at, we can. I'm assuming it's probably a similar issue.
Probably similar, yeah.
So there's always two things that you want, like how to finally grow your chest. Like I would even I always test two things: a hook banner and a CTA banner, right? Because if you have your hook banner, sometimes people don't remember why they were watching this video, and it's because text goes by so fast. Like especially with these shorts, I don't know if it's because I'm old or what. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't even keep up with half the shorts that are in my newsfeed because they go by so fast. And so one of the things that I like to do is I like to establish the hook banner long enough to where like it at least is up there for 5 seconds in the beginning of the video so that I can catch my bearings as to what the hell I'm looking at. And then like then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll switch it to the CTA banner. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it, but that will definitely get you more engagement.
Okay. Could you do a banner? Could you almost do both? You could just have a banner and then comment word. You could just say the whole thing at the top that it stays stationary.
You could, as long as it doesn't take up too much like of the like
Yeah,
take
too
video.
much real estate. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to put too many words on screen at one time because you already have your banner and your captions going.
Yeah. Fair. Okay, I'll give that a go.
Yep, absolutely. Dr. Christina.
Hi, Laurel. I also have a few, wait, let me see how I share this thing. So I have a few power content launched and I'm not getting any comments.
Are you talking about power content or conversion multipliers, guys?
Power content.
That's not the goal. We just talked about that, right? The goal is not to get comments. So we're not optimizing power content to get comments. It's just a bonus.
Okay, so these are the ones I launched so far.
Okay.
So yeah, this one looks like a little bit big cost per 25% view.
Yeah, that one's that one is what I would do with that one is I would just move it to a boost. I would move it to warm traffic. What's the topic?
This is the version to the warm traffic of the same. So I launch both of them to cold and warm as per your.
Yeah, so you can already see the difference between the cold and warm traffic. So yeah, that's cool. No, that's good. I'm glad that you did that because look at like it didn't mean that people weren't interested in it. They just that subject for some reason they felt more comfortable like if they had already seen another piece of content from you.
So should I turn this off and replace it with another power content?
I would absolutely. Yeah, your cost per 25% is way high, 77 cents.
And what about the other one with 47?
Well, what can you do?
Yeah, this is the same to the cold. So yeah, this to the warm are performing much better. And this one is to the cold, but it has like a high hook rate. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like good in the rest of the metrics of the KPIs. So maybe I will leave it a bit more and see how if maybe it decreases. I don't know.
Well, and also you haven't really ran it for very long. Like
Yeah.
I'm only seeing like 11 and 4 and like it really hasn't ran a long time because remember power content optimizes based upon through plays. If you don't have enough through plays, it can't optimize. So a lot of times if you let your power content just run for those 7 days, it will optimize on its own because a lot of times people, and that's why I created the flywheel, right? The 7-day flywheel, because the 7 days at $5 a day will give you enough through plays to be able to optimize it.
So should I leave them a little bit longer and launch some new ones and then
How long have they been running?
like 3 days?
Yeah, I always leave stuff running for 7 days. That's why I did the 7-day flywheel.
Okay, so yeah, probably this one should be turned off and replaced with another one because it doesn't look that great.
Yeah. But you have some that are already out the gate doing better.
Yes, but the hook rate is okay to this one. Okay, hold rate is really bad. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, 70, 77. That's why your cost per 25% view is 77 cents.
So should I turn this off now?
I would, because it's already doing better. It's already doing better with warm traffic.
Okay, yeah. So then I turn this off and I will do another video tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how's your conveyor belt content doing? Are people watching the videos? Are people clicking through?
So I started all new because the old videos, they were really not good. So I realized that I was speeding them up too much. I don't know. It was like I tried to put too much in one video. So now I'm doing them all again as per the content Bible. And yeah, I have a lot of topics. So yeah, that gave me a lot of more ideas for new videos. So
Yeah,
I'm planning.
so one of the things that you guys can do is like if you just do a piece of content every single day and test it with the boosted post, then you can move them to the appropriate campaign, right? That's the way that I do it to make it super super easy.
What do you mean to move it to the appropriate campaign?
So basically, once I have my power content running, I get my boosted post and then I look at my boosted post. I'm like, ah, shit, this boosted post did really good. I'm going to move this to a like if I do a power content video that's 3 to 5 minutes long and I boost it and it does well, I'm like, okay, it's got a whole bunch of warm traffic watching it. Let me test this to cold traffic because Facebook already knows the type of people who are hitting play on the video. It actually like gives it a better chance with cold traffic because it's already got the through plays on it.
Oh, okay. So the ones the boosted post which perform the
Yeah.
best, they must add.
So after I launch that's why I want you guys to get the entire ecosystem up as fast as possible, because then all you need to do is worry about boosted posts. That's all you have to do. And then whenever you're getting your boosted post out, because that's the thing is I think you guys are sitting on power content and conversion multipliers way too long. Like you got to get those boosted posts started because the boosted post is the conveyor belt that's going to get you clients the fastest.
Mhm. So I want to offer like a value bomb, like a little workshop, which will be like a 27, 37. Should I just put it like a paid value bomb? I know that we discussed it, but do you recommend to just give the
Do a
link?
what? Sorry.
So I would like to have a value bomb, which is like a workshop, which I think people would want because it's one of the topics a lot of students struggle. But I would like to do it like a live workshop, like once a week, like the workshops, so like tiny workshop the Justin and Sarah are doing. So should I just ask people to comment and then send them the link, and that will be like a paid value bomb?
No, I would literally do it as a like I would literally put the link and everything for people to buy in the actual post because you can boost it and optimize it for purchases if you want to, or you can put it as a boosted post in your ads manager. I would run it for I would run it as purchases. If
Oh,
that's what
okay.
you're trying to get people to do is purchase directly from the ad, that's what I would do. Now, can you do a two-step? And I wouldn't do it for a paid thing. I would do it like as a free resource and then offer them the paid at the end, like at the end of the conversation, but I wouldn't do a two-step for a paid thing. I would either run it as a purchase campaign or I would run it as a value bomb and then pitch them the paid thing in Messenger.
Ah, okay. So to give them some, yeah, try to see what are their problems and then say, okay, this workshop will be the best for you.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. So and the purchase campaign you mentioned is like a low ticket funnel?
Say that one more time.
Is the purchase campaign you mentioned like the low ticket funnel in the course?
Just a boosted post. Like you can literally just run it as a purchase campaign.
Okay, and which lesson work we through
Run it as
this?
you could run it either as a boosted post or you could run it as a hot 7, like just and put it at $2 a day as a purchase campaign.
Okay, okay.
That's what Sarah and Justin are doing is we're just running all their mini workshops as a hot 7 so that they're all the different workshops that they do, people can just purchase them straight from the ad. And we just run it to all their warm traffic.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let's say I'm reading if I post a video organically that is meant for boosted content and it is longer than 3 minutes, Instagram now warns that it will not show it to new audiences. I guess it's okay because it's meant for warm audience anyway. Exactly. Dr. Lizette.
Hello. Let me get my ads up. Okay, so these are my book a call ads. This is the only one I'm running right now, top of funnel. Right now, the total has been an average of 184, but this past week, It's been this much.
Ooh,
I don't
yeah.
know what happened, so I guess I should turn that off.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, your cost per booked call has gotten high. Yeah,
Okay.
because what probably happened is Facebook cycled through all of your warmest traffic, and then the ad puttered out because it ran out of warm traffic to show it to, and so it started only showing it to cold traffic.
It actually is the one running to cold traffic.
Yeah, but even though you run it to cold traffic, Facebook is still going to show it to your warm audience first. So that's why a lot of people have a false sense of, I launched a new ad and I just got a whole bunch of sales. I'm like, hang tight, because Facebook is, no matter whether you target cold traffic or warm traffic, Facebook is still going to cycle it through your audience most likely to convert, and that's warm.
Okay, what I found interesting is the power funnel ad. Where is it? Okay, yeah. So I had ran it to cold traffic, but then when I moved it to a hot 7, it started booking calls much cheaper. I don't know where I put it though.
Yeah, because it's retargeting. That's what
Okay.
happens. That's why I told Mr. Mike over there, I said, hey, you need to get the whole ecosystem up and running, because like your booked calls do get cheaper as your warm traffic starts to go into the cycle.
Okay, so the only difference is that the cold traffic does not see it.
Well, you're because you're retargeting. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And my 3 hot 7s are, I guess, doing well. This one, for some reason, it's the video, actually.
Yeah,
That
look at that, Mr. Mike. Look at that, $10.49 for a booked appointment right there.
Yep,
$10.
thanks for sharing.
So, but you still want me to keep it at $2?
You can. Let's take a look at the columns and then do performance and clicks, because we just want to see like the frequency. That's how I know like whether or not to keep it on $2, is I'm looking at the frequency. Is the frequency getting high, right? Because just because you raise the budget, we have to be careful about raising the budget when it comes to retargeting, because we could be just giving Facebook more money to spend and not getting it in front of new people, right? And so that's why we want to. So if you go to columns where it says columns and calls, and do performance and clicks, you'll see a frequency. And set that to the last 7 days, where you go to maximum. And let's just see how long it's yeah, so you have some room, so you could raise that to $5 a day, because you see how it's only being shown about 2 times a week to everyone. You could raise it. I wouldn't raise it incredibly like I wouldn't put it on $10 a day, but I would try it at $5 a day and see if I can increase the reach a little bit without increasing the frequency.
Okay, just that one, not the other 2.
Well, it does show that, I mean, hell, holy crap, are you guys seeing this? $2.36 per booked call.
Which is interesting because that's the video that was doing well at 150 top of funnel, but then it got to 250.
Do you guys see like these numbers, guys, and why I want you guys to hurry up and get your hot 7 up and running it? $13 a booked call, $2.36 for 6 schedules. That's freaking insane. Yeah, I would just add a little bit of budget, Dr. Lizette, but so I'm gonna ask you another question though, because this is phenomenal as far as this goes. How's your show up rate?
That's the part that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 80% don't show up. I text them,
Yeah.
they don't respond.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that you and I are gonna have to fix, is like trying to figure out how to get, but what's one of the things I told you that's gonna fix that too? The conveyor belt, right? And so that's one of the things that we have to take into account too, is the longer that people are consuming our content, the more people are going to actually show up.
Okay. Now, since these book a call ads are doing well as hot 7 ads, do I still need to have a power offer funnel ad?
I honestly, I would leave the power offers middle of funnel, and I would just continue. Here's how I would do it if I were you, right? I would have your power content the only thing that's going to cold traffic, and then mix in different power offers when you're doing your boosted posts. Because then it will allow you to test different ways to get people to the booked call.
Okay, so no campaign 2.
Yeah, correct. If I were you, only
Okay,
because
no,
you're getting
that feels
such
better
a
because
only because you're getting such a phenomenal
okay,
cost at, with your warm traffic.
yeah, because I've spent like almost 10,000 on phase 2, campaign 2.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, that's okay. So just power content, keep it at 3 and keep testing different ones.
I would.
Okay.
Absolutely. Especially I would hit the different, how I made some notes today from your content Bible, and I was like, we need to get really more specific on the problems that they're having in their daily life, to where like only executive women are like, this is me and I need to watch this video. So that's what I would work on 2 things. One, being more specific in your content, but you could also do that in your boosted post and then move winning ones up to your power content. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Confession, I haven't done any organic posts, so I don't have any to boost because I've been
Yeah, that's the
on-
problem. Like, I think
Yeah.
so many of you are missing the sweet spot. Like phase 1 is what I tell you guys, right? Kara just asked a good question. She's like, well, I don't have any conversations. Why would I be running the hot 7? Well, if you're in phase 1, right, you want to be doing the boosted post, because that acts as your retargeting sequence in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, I actually had a question about the fast funnel.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have one running that's middle of funnel. Guess do I and though the middle funnel is only a conversion multiplier, like a reel, it's not a static image.
Okay.
Is that right?
No, it could be a static image. It could
Okay.
be a written post. Conversion multipliers are anything that is a 2-step. It's just essentially a 2-step.
Got it. Okay. But yeah, it for some reason, top of funnel, see, like these two are the same, but
Mhm.
top of funnel, it does 58% hook rate. Do you know why that might be, that it's better at top of funnel than middle?
There's no rhyme or reason as to why cold traffic might respond to it better than warm traffic. It might have been a better broad topic. I don't know. What's the hook on it? Like what's the topic?
Boundaries.
Boundaries is a very broad subject, where
Okay.
your warm traffic might like, this is what I want you guys to understand, right? And this is a really great conversation for right now. If you're talking about boundaries, it's a very broad topic, so your ad cost and your hook rate is going to be better, right? But the quality is going to not be as good, right? And so if, let's say that she had a video on, here's an email template that you can send to an employee that's taking advantage of you during corporate meetings or something like that, right? Let's say you got them in to your conveyor belt with a piece of content like that. They might not see boundaries as a problem that they need to solve, so they might be scrolling past it. Does that make sense? Does everyone understand the difference between broad content and very targeted content? That's why we always want to do super targeted content. As a matter of fact, me and Molly Mahoney, do you guys know Molly Mahoney? Her and I were actually just talking about this earlier. She's like, because yesterday she got trolled because she did a piece of content that kind of went viral. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, when you came in and did the workshop the other day and you said, I hate when my content goes viral. She's like, I totally agree with that, because and it's for this reason, is like most of your viral content is going to get a lot of views, but it's going to be lower quality views because the content's more broad. Your tightly targeted content is always going to get you better clients and higher quality, even though they're going to cost a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not getting hardly any post comments. So
Yeah.
so
And your niche is probably going to be that way, because they're high performing women who probably don't want to admit that they have any type of issues, because they they portray themselves as having their life all together. And so you might just stick with getting people to click to book a call versus trying to have a conversation, you know?
Okay, so then skip the conversion multipliers.
You can, if you're not like, you might want to just reallocate the budget,
Okay.
or you might just want to switch to where the conversation goes straight into the DM instead of a comment.
Okay. Okay.
Because I do think that there's value in doing DM funnels because it does allow you to intercept those conversations with leads. But for you, I would probably send them straight to Messenger. You know how you could set up the Messenger ads? I probably would do that. Click here for a quick, for a quick 15-minute chat or something like that, versus trying to get them to comment.
Okay. Click here for a 15-minute chat. Is that what you said?
Or well, whatever your CT. I just said that just like
Okay.
click here for a 15-minute evaluation or something like that. If that's something of value to them.
Okay, so then I could do the conversion multiplier be a book a call.
Well, if you're sending like a straight to Messenger, it just depends on whether you're doing a direct ask or if you're giving away a value bomb. But always like to get the Messenger conversation, it might be that people just aren't wanting to raise their hand in the comments.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if I understand correctly, focus on top of camping 1, skip camping 2, the hot 7, even though the how it works.
Yeah. So here I'll actually I'll show you like a little visual. So what yours would look like is I did this training not too long ago. How to get banger results on a $300 to $500 a month budget. And essentially you could do this right here and then skip this. And put your conversion multipliers here. Does that make sense? Like you would put your power offers here, any power content videos, any podcast episodes, anything like this is essentially what your funnel would look like. Like, by the way, everyone on this call right now should at least be doing this. Like this will get you so freaking far.
Okay, plus the hot 7.
Yeah, for you, because you've been running it a long time. Because honestly, like whenever you do the hot 7, you could literally just take what are my 7 best pieces of content that I've put together over the last 90 days, and those become your hot 7.
Even if they're not addressing the objections.
Depends, like if it's doing analytical and aspirational case studies and stuff like that, like that's what I always take my best pieces of content. And I always just put that as my retargeting stuff. But yeah, you always want to address objections and stuff like that, but there's not to say that you can't do that here either.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very fluid. Like at the end of the day, right? Like what we're doing is we're putting out content and retargeting all those people with more content. That's all essentially we're doing with this strategy. Zeta.
Hi, nice to meet
Hey.
you officially. I'm with ThriveHive, and I had a question, and maybe it's not a super.
Oh yeah, you're with Trisha.
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
So we got our first like videos up where we invite people for the masterclass at $2 per video, so per set. I was just wondering because
So you're talking about the hot 7 to get people back to the masterclass?
Yes, exactly. And
Okay.
so I was just wondering because historically we know that we've been selling to cold audiences at like $200 per webinar purchase. Do you think the $2 budget is still a good thing, or should we like increase it from the start right away?
Depends on how much warm traffic you have. Like I run my ads at $1 and $2 a day and get purchases for $3.
Okay.
And I have about 60 or 70,000 people in my warm audience. So it really depends. It's not like just because you spend more doesn't mean it's gonna lower your cost per purchase. Can you test it at a higher budget? Absolutely, but I wouldn't go past $5 or $10 a day per ad.
Okay. And can I show you how they've been doing so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Let you guys want to see like they're in
Okay.
lead with Laurel. Let's take a look at some so just so that everyone has this context, they're running a webinar funnel. And so we're running the Hot 7 to retarget people back to her webinar funnel because it's a paid webinar.
Yes. So we split it up in the CC and TT just because they're slightly different audiences, but further we followed exactly the thing you've been saying. And we started it, I think, on Thursday. So far we spent this.
Okay.
And these are like
Your
links.
click-through rate's really good, 3%, 1.2. So just so you guys know, remember I said a while ago, your CTR all like we want minimum to be 3%. So they're at minimum. So so you've gotten 7 and 10 link clicks. How much is your cost per link click?
Cost per link click.
Yeah, so if you go into just performance and
This?
click. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Scroll to the left.
Sorry.
To the right, sorry. I'm telling you. I'm doing this and telling you
Oh, here we go.
cost per link click isn't bad, but if you wanted to get more link clicks, we can up the creatives on that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the creatives that you guys have running.
Okay. Shall I do
Go
just
to just go to the ad level.
okay, ad level?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we scroll all the way to the right,
Yes.
yep, we can see some are doing better than others,
Yes.
right? Because we want that CTRL to be at least 3%.
Mhm.
But we really don't have enough traffic to say whether or not something is doing well. But I do know that I don't like that $8.46 per link click right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we haven't seen any purchases come true yet, but that could be because historically our cost is a lot higher per.
Yeah, but you're gonna see you should see lower cost per purchase here.
Okay.
Because think about this. When you're do you know the reason why cold traffic costs more?
They're not familiar with us.
Well, the bigger is it's a bigger audience, right?
Mhm.
And so Facebook has to go through a ton more people to find the right people. When you have a warm audience, Facebook doesn't have to do as much work, so that's why you can lower your cost per purchase by only having it cycle through your warm traffic. And so that's just something that we want to keep an eye on, especially too because this is a paid $47 like workshop. We still haven't spent the amount of acquisition like if we're running, like I said, you can boost up the budget if you want to see how $5 a day does. It's not going to hurt it, but I would really worry about like what's the frequency. And do you know how many people are in Trisha's warm audience?
I think like below 10,000.
I might test it at $5 a day, but I definitely wouldn't go more than $5 a day because then you're going to spend more money to reach the same people over and over again.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to finally meet you after talking in Voxer for so long.
I know, same here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Liz.
Hey, thanks for doing this. I for some reason saw it as noon and I thought my time zone and not central. So I jumped on at noon and no, I'm an hour late. So
No worries.
I have a couple questions.
Yep.
So what is the difference between engagement video views versus traffic video views versus whatever the other one is, video views? Because they all say video views as an objective, but I know I've always run them as engagement views and I've gotten that question. And so I never knew the answer.
I just do engagement. I don't know the rhyme or reason. I just know that's what I use. I just find traffic to not be a high quality objective, so I don't use it. Unless I'm sending people like to my YouTube channel or I have to use it. But other than that, I'm using the engagement because Facebook is basically going to give you the traffic that you've asked for. And so like if you optimize for video views, it's going to give you people who are going to watch videos, right? If you optimize for traffic, it's going to optimize for people who like to click links.
Okay.
Obviously, whenever we're talking middle of funnel traffic, I don't really care because like it's my warm traffic anyway, so I don't really worry about the objective that much. But for cold traffic, I absolutely do because I do want to get my content into the best quality traffic.
Yeah, definitely. So going to YouTube, I've been posting a lot more videos on YouTube, which is crazy because my channel's actually growing randomly. Like I'm not spending any money even on YouTube. It's just all organic. But how could I like leverage that, or like kind of what
I
would be my
guarantee you
next
your
step?
I guarantee you your Facebook ads are doing that. Like, what's the first thing? What's the first like guys, like what's the first thing that you do when you see an ad from someone? The first thing I do is I go to their YouTube channel to see if there's more content from what they're doing. And then I like I find people like I see the direct correlation between my YouTube channel growing and me running Facebook ads.
Would it be advantageous to run like a traffic one to my YouTube?
I do
Or
it.
spend money on YouTube?
Oh, I do it. I run traffic ads to my YouTube videos from Facebook all the time to my warm traffic.
How much would you do? Like $2 a day?
Yeah, I think it's like I either do $1 or $2, and I have like 7 of my best YouTube videos running.
Yeah, because I've got several that have just like taken off recently. So yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is too, this is how smart the algorithms have gotten. Like if you see an ad from me and you're on YouTube and you've engaged with my ad on Facebook, YouTube's going to show you some of my organic videos. Just because everyone's using them with the same device. And so like the algorithms are just getting super, super smart where you don't even have to hardly do any retargeting anymore. Like Facebook is literally just, oh, she's watching Liz videos. Oh, I'm going to show her more videos on YouTube of this.
Cool. Do you think it'd be worth like boosting any videos on YouTube, like on platform?
Hell yeah, that's part of my strategy, girl. Where you been?
I just haven't ever watched any of that training. I'm like, do I even go there, or do I just stay in my lane right now with Facebook and Instagram?
Oh my God, no, I turn around and I take my money that I get from YouTube monetization and I turn it and flip it right back into YouTube ads.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
quite
because
there.
if you can get people watching your YouTube videos, YouTube pays you, right, for like for monetization, and then you can just turn around and flip it into your YouTube ads.
Yeah, but I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours.
Okay. I'm at like 350 subscribers.
Oh yeah. Like like let's see if we can get like I definitely would try to get as many contractors to join your YouTube channel.
Cool. Okay, flipping, I have another question. So, one of my best lead magnets have been a job costing calculator. However, I have not gotten people to actually use it because it's a spreadsheet with formulas, and yes, it's all color coded. It's like just fill in.
Sounds like a fucking nightmare, Liz. Why would
It's
you
like, so anyways, needless to say, I have completely somebody else I'm connected with shared with me like an AI tool to create a mobile friendly calculator that looks beautiful. So,
Yeah.
and it took me like an hour to make it, which is
Mm.
crazy, like coded and all. So now that I've got a better lead magnet, my biggest issue is that CTR all. So like, what are some strategies I can use to really push that out?
What's your CTR all?
On my lead magnet stuff, it's usually like 2%.
I wouldn't worry too much about it for you because you're targeting a very specific niche like contractors. Like when you're in very specific niches like dentists and chiropractors, contractors, like your CTR all is just naturally going to be lower because think about like the way that like you have to look at it is, right? Like the narrower the niche, the lower your CTR all is going to be because there's a smaller portion audience of that on Facebook, right? And so Facebook's really got to search its entire audience to try to find those very few contractors. And so just naturally because of the niche, your CTR all is going to be on the lower side. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. As long as you're using your Advantage Plus and having the contractor job title in there.
Yeah. Okay, now for contractors running stuff to homeowners, so they're very location specific, what range of CTRL should they be looking for?
I wouldn't even worry about it because it's local. There's
But-
there's just some there's just some stuff that I don't even bother because local ads are just so freaking dirt cheap and you're gonna get the reach with them anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a great question though. When it comes to local, because the audience size is so small, you're gonna have a lower CTRL then too, right? Because the audience of people is so small.
Yeah. So at that point in time, it's mostly just volume, just constantly putting stuff
Yes.
out there.
It like, and not just for this, and that's why like I'm preaching this entire call. It is all about volume for everybody, right? It's all about how fast can we make that conveyor belt go.
Cool. One more question on YouTube. I forgot that my husband wanted me to ask. So
Yeah.
he's got a channel for real estate and it's been all organic. He's over 1,000 subscribers. That's how he gets all his business. But he's like, well, why don't I put some money behind it? And some people in the real estate YouTube world have said, we've tried putting money behind our YouTube and it kills the algorithm. But then I'm like, why would
they're
YouTube?
so full of shit.
I'm like, why would YouTube punish you?
So full of shit. Run YouTube ads, especially the real estate YouTube ad that I have in the $7 program. Like it's the amount of bad advice that I just laugh. I'm like, it's the people who are like, I have a channel just to run YouTube ads and one just for my organic. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? Like one feeds into the other. Like, why would you spend thousands of dollars sending ads to a YouTube channel that only has ads on it and not send it to your organic? Like, I guess people just don't like understand how marketing like works together, and they're more worried about tracking than they are about like anything else. It baffles me.
Sounds good. Well, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Clara.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
I was wondering if I could show you my power content videos for feedback on that first minute because you gave me some really good feedback last time. I'm
I would
still
love
trying
to.
So just for some context, let me see here.
Yep.
These are currently my top 2 best performing power content ads that have run.
Not bad, 25 cents and 26 cents.
Yeah, and I am happy because that's still, I mean, the lowest I've gotten. But I was like, oh, how do I break this sub 20-cent mark? That's where I was like, I made a big improvement after you gave me feedback last time, and maybe you could see something again in that first
Yeah.
minute because that's really where the key is, right? If I can get them past that first minute.
Yep, let's do it. Everyone, let's watch
Okay.
her thing and see if we can give her some good feedback.
Okay. This is my best performing one currently at 25 cents per view.
Okay.
Your core students are still getting confused and how to fix it. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how a small shift in how you film your lessons can help students actually follow what you're doing and get better results without needing a total course overhaul. I'm Claire Koo, and my agency, Conquer the Digital Empire, helps course creators relaunch their programs in the next 30 days with great learning experiences. If your students are getting confused, it's not just their problem, it's a course design problem. If you're like most DIY course creators, you recorded with a single camera, probably your smartphone or a webcam, and just used one camera angle. And that was good enough at first. After all, you got some sales and a few solid testimonials. But you might have also gotten a couple messages like, I wasn't sure what to do there, or I wish I could see that part better. It's really easy to brush those comments off if you don't get a lot of them. But what about those students who stay silent, who quietly drop off before they finish your course?
Okay, is this where people kind of drop off?
This is about the minute mark, and whenever I'm writing my scripts now, I'm like, okay, I should have at least hopefully gotten them curiosity before maybe slightly teasing the solution, and that's where I'm trying to tweak it.
So I feel like I don't need to watch the rest of the video because I know you're going to tell me to shoot with more than one angle.
Okay.
Like I
So
feel like
because
I've already got, like I feel like I've already gotten. So I kind of feel like after you close that,
Mm.
it's good for everyone. Pay attention to what I'm about to say, because this is the secret to getting more people to watch more of the video. She closed a loop without opening another.
because I said, and just to make sure I understand, I opened the loop by saying the filming, like it's how you're filming it. Is that the loop?
You closed the loop. You were like, because a lot of you guys are just recording with a single camera. You didn't open the next, and you should have said something like, a lot of you guys are recording this with a single camera, but the solution is not just recording with 2 angles. It's actually the way that you do it. And so blah, 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 blah. So you see how I opened up the next loop? Because at this point, I'm already like, oh, she's going to tell me that I need to, I feel like I could stop watching the video and I'm not missing out on any extra information.
So this part where I'm like, you probably did a single camera.
Yeah, go ahead and play. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Oh, from here or from where?
Yeah, from right here.
Okay.
Probably your smartphone or a webcam, and just use one camera angle. And that was good enough at first. After all, you got some sales and a few solid testimonials. But you might have also gotten a couple messages like,
see, you don't open the loop.
Okay.
Don't tell me why I should keep watching the video. You've already told me, oh, I need to do it. The answer is doing multiple angles. And so I'm like, oh, cool. She's going to tell me to go screen share a video. Cool. I got what I needed.
Okay. Because what I actually talk about in like the actual how it works section is here's the other 2 key camera angles you should be using. It's not just any camera angle, it's these 2 specifically, and here's some examples of what that looks like and why it works. Okay.
I would have opened that loop after you told me the first thing, like about a lot of you guys are doing it with 1 camera angle. You just didn't open up a next loop. So getting people to like watch more of these videos is all about closing a loop, opening. As soon as you close a loop, you have to open a new loop. Does that make sense for everyone? Did everyone write that down? Because that's really key right here. In doing
okay, so it's the loop. It's not just about having extra, it's about like these types. Like that's how I could have, if I did this again.
You have to continuously like open with another hook, right? Like how, like, because then you gotta keep me going for like what you're gonna tell me. So that's the only thing that I found was missing. Was I was like, okay, she told me I need to do it with multiple camera angles. Cool. And then even though I assumed wrong, I still assumed that I didn't need to watch.
You didn't need my rest of my video. Okay. Yeah. I can raise my hand again. I was like, would you mind looking at my other one?
Yeah, no, let's do it. No, this is fun. This is what I wanted to do like today. Like that's why I set aside 2 days for us to do this. Is this helpful? Because a lot of you guys, we don't need to learn new stuff. We just need to go through what we've already done and fix stuff.
Because like I couldn't see that I closed my loop because I feel like I'm getting better at opening them, but I guess I was like, oh, I accidentally closed one.
Well, and I saw the improvement that you made where you put actual clients so that people knew that it wasn't. That looked really nice.
So yeah, and that's because of a feedback you gave me last time. I was like, oh, it looks like stock. Okay. So all right. So this is another one. I wonder if I did the same thing here. So okay.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna let the group tell us what's wrong. Y'all ready? Everyone paying attention? Who's gonna be a rock star?
The real sign your course needs a makeover. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the #1 reason you need to upgrade your course, and it's not the reason most course creators assume. At the end of this video, I'll give you a free resource to help you relaunch your course.
Okay, can I just stop right there?
Yeah.
What did everyone think about the topic? Would you watch this video? And let's give her some really good let her know why.
I don't even know if I need a makeover in the first place, so I'm not even concerned about signs.
It's very vague. Like what would be some of the let's keep watching the video so that we can gather some more details. But right now, I would not watch this video because it's too vague of a topic. But let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see some more.
And just some behind the scenes context. I had tested one of like 3 signs your course needs a makeover, and it hadn't performed as well as this one. So that's why
I think like I don't think like people. So people don't know if their course needs a makeover, but like, so what would be the sign that a course needs a makeover? Are you tired of students not finishing your videos and then asking dumb questions when they come to calls?
Yeah.
You see what I did there? And
Yeah.
I'm not knocking y'all. I'm just saying, but you see how that would be a symptom of, oh shit, this is what I'm experiencing. And will this video help me with this?
Okay.
But let's keep watching.
Okay. Oh, play.
Lessons that give students the results they want. I'm Claire Koo, and my creative agency, Caught with the Digital Empire, helps course creators like you relaunch your course within the next 30 days with content that delivers great learning experiences. Most course creators assume they should upgrade their course when it doesn't look professional enough, like when it wasn't filmed with fancy equipment. But the real reason you should upgrade your course is when students start telling you that your course is hard to follow. They say something like, I don't know where to start, or I don't know what I should be doing next. Course creators often think that better looking videos will fix this. The real problem is that your lessons aren't structured in a way that builds momentum and guides students logically through.
So I think the hook is really like, the hook is, are you tired of students asking you questions that you've already answered inside the course material? Well, it's not because your students are dumb, it's because of the way that your course is formatted. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to fix that so that students actually consume your content instead of, you know, asking you questions that they should already know the answer to. Like, you have to think about, like, what is the symptom that's going to trigger the person who's
Trigger them more. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I mean by you guys like having your ideal client in mind. Like, think about the things that are like driving your ideal clients crazy about their course, right? Like, think about this. Like, why do you think I am constantly updating the $7 program? I'm not just sitting behind my thing and being like, my students are so fucking stupid, it's all in the training. No, I'm like looking at it anytime you guys are asking me questions. I'm like, why are they asking me these questions? Oh shit, you know what? I'm not as clear here as I think I should be. But the symptom is you guys posting questions in the $7 program, you guys coming to calls and me thinking, oh my God, this is covered in the training. Why do they not know this? Right? That's the symptom. And so if you put out a video talking about that, I'm like, oh my God, this is me. How do I fix this? Versus,
And I guess like,
oh, I mean, my course needs a makeover. Because at that moment in time, I'm not thinking my course needs a makeover. I'm asking the question, why are my students doing this?
Because like I knew one of the symptoms, because other people have said it to me when I work with them, is like when they use the word hard to follow, which is why I was weaving it into the script. But it's like I have to lean harder into like, what is a symptom of hard to follow? It's people showing up asking redundant questions over and over when you thought you've covered it a million times.
Yep, 100%. Does anyone else have some feedback? Because y'all, I think everyone in this room like could benefit from what Clara does. So does anyone else have some feedback for her?
Maybe go one step further in terms of the consequences. It's just not that they're asking dumb questions, but what are the bigger symptoms or the bigger problem that them asking questions that they should already know the answer for is? Maybe it's just that they're not recommending it to other people, that you're losing out on sales, that your reputation is not as good as what could be. But yeah, I was wondering what would be the further
Lack of
consequences.
referrals is a good one, Mike. Like, lack of referrals. Like, why am I not getting referrals for this program? I think it's badass, right?
Okay.
Yep. That's great feedback right there.
So video 1, I closed the loop without opening a new one, and then video 2, finding the better verbalizing the symptoms that might trigger like, yeah, I have to keep watching. Okay.
What is annoying to the course creator?
Yeah. Cool. And it's funny because like I think my middle part can still say the same now.
Yes. Your humble brag is great.
Thank you. God, that took a long time just to get the humble brag. So thank you. That was really helpful. And yeah. Okay, back to the drawing board. Thank you.
Not back to the drawing board.
Or not
improving, right? Like,
yeah.
Improving.
Man, when I get below 20 cents, I am gonna holler.
Yes, and you easily can. Like, think about you know what? You should just think like think about all the frustrations that Laurel has, right? Like you see sometimes my reaction on the call, I'm like, oh my God, like why are we? But then I go back and I'm like, okay, cool. What do I need to make clearer, right? But just think like, what would Laurel complain about today?
Yeah,
What would grab Laurel's attention?
and honestly, your feedback before, like I've stopped talking about equipment at all, other than to say it's not the equipment. And I feel like that's been one of the reasons why I've been going down, because I just talk about like the learning experience. That's why I made that pivot.
Yeah.
I think it's made a difference. So
Yeah, because the thing is like, especially when students come to my house, like Lean on Laurel members come to my house and we hang out. And the thing that they want me to help them with in their like material isn't necessarily because I have better equipment. It's because like, can you help me with the structure? I'm not being clear enough. And so I think the equipment for you is part of it. But I think someone having a second pair of eyes as a course content creator helps a lot.
yeah. And I've
Because
seen that in the
that's one of the
data.
things that I love. I think you met my friend Bessie at my event.
Yes.
Because that's one of the things that like she's really freaking good at. It's not about that she has the fancy equipment. It's about like she's got the way to create the content in a way that the audience can understand it. She's got that down to it, like she's got it down to a science.
Thank you.
Yep. Kalita.
Hey, so I have a quick question regarding, I don't know if it's relevant to today, but listening to everyone else, first of all, was so helpful. Before I would just sell my coaching on the back end of a low ticket digital product or a low ticket like one-on-one call or what have you, do we need to do like the free calls or the sales calls, or could we run your ecosystem, but the call to action is like to a lower ticket digital product bundled with a call? Like, do you think that would work, or should we?
Here's my, and I think this does pair well with what we're talking about today. Here's why. I think it's super important to talk to people when validating even a low ticket offer, right? Because I think people assume that low ticket versus high ticket, that for any high ticket you should book a call. That's not true. The situations where you should book a call is whenever it takes a lot of convincing for someone to take an action, right? Like, you know how they sell gym memberships that are like $10 a month? Call or in-person consultation, right? For a $10 a month thing, right? Insurance, right? Like for our insurance company, Brandon like follows up with all of our insurance leads for like a $20 a month thing, right? It's like, why is he on the call? It's a low ticket thing. Well, it's a higher barrier to actually get someone to sign up for insurance. And so it does, warrant a phone call. But the more education that you do up front, the less touch points that you need at the end of the sales cycle. So for instance, like people just at the end of the sales cycle, when they're ready to join LOL, they just message me in Messenger, right? Because it's at the end of a longer marketing cycle. And so it just depends on how long that person has been in your marketing cycle. Does that make sense?
Right. Okay. So that brings me to my second question, which is, in the past, I've done like assessment calls, not necessarily sales calls, where I do what you call power content. And I guess mine was kind of sort of power content. And they book the call. And then at the end of the call, I would transition them to buy something. Do you think that would make sense instead of like the straight up sales call? Or should I focus on booking as many qualified sales calls instead?
What's the constraint that you're trying to solve for?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the question behind the question? Like, why are you asking me that question specifically? Like, is there context behind it?
Yeah, so before I started running ads with you, I was doing all organic, but remember I took a break. And so now that I'm running ads, I'm wondering if I should still do the same method where it's like either a low ticket digital product or a free like audit assessment type call to transition.
What are you trying to sell at the end? Like, what is the core product that you're trying to sell?
A 2-hour get it done session where I build out their lead gen funnel for their digital product.
I would sell that. I would literally sell a roadmap call or do it for free and just sell the hell out of it. How much do you charge for that? Like
Right now,
like, if you-
$9.97.
And yeah, I would literally do like my funnel for that would be content, free roadmap call, sell the 997 thing. And I would build my entire ecosystem around that. Because then once you have enough information about what is something that all of these people need, that I can sell them, and then you can offer them your low ticket product then. Once you have the volume of people who are coming into your funnel. Does that make sense?
Okay, so stop the ads to the low ticket, just focus
Well,
on.
it depends. Do you have enough money to warrant a low ticket offer, right? Because low ticket offers are the most expensive to dial in.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like if you're gonna spend, like you heard Zeta and them right a while ago, $200 for a $47 purchase, which by the way, like I don't think she's still here, but they're super profitable on the back end of that. So they have the cash flow from their high ticket to be able to sustain a $200 purchase. Most business owners, when they first start out, they can't do that because if they're paying $2 a purchase and they only have $1,000, they only have 5 low ticket sales. No one buys the high ticket. They're upside down on their cash flow after only 5 purchases, right? And so that's why I like to start with a higher priced item so that we can get cash flow and work our way back.
Right. My low ticket honestly is just like a tripwire in my lead generation funnel. So that's how like I made sales for that low ticket. So it's just like I do ads to get leads and then the leads in my funnel by the low ticket.
Yeah,
So
you just have to do the math. Is that working out for you? If it is, I wouldn't touch it.
right. I don't really think it's worth it right now. So I think like your strategy run. So
I would, because my strategy is always going to be built around cash flow.
right. And so just focus on booking as many roadmap calls as possible and then
Yeah,
upselling.
like think about this. If you can like build, like be like, hey, I want to build, because what is it that you build? Like a what, remind me what you were building? I got excited about it because I heard it. What was it?
Right. So it's a get it done session where they get on the phone with me for 2 to 3 hours and we build out their entire lead gen funnel for their digital product.
Perfect. Do profit projections like over the phone, like like how I showed you guys how to do like here's what your funnel would actually look like do a funnel mapping session for free and then upsell them building it like the session.
That's actually what I do because I have like a sales funnel sales calculator where I show them, hey, this is how many leads you get, this is how many you want to sell, and then
perfect
stuff. Okay,
that is perfect. Like that is literally how I get people into LOL, is like profit projections all day long.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Was that helpful?
No, very helpful.
Yeah,
because
it all goes back to the math. The math has to make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't too confident in that strategy, so that's why I wanted to ask, because when I'm not confident in something, then I don't put enough effort behind it, if that makes sense. So that's why I wanted some feedback. So thank you so much.
100%. Yeah, you're very welcome. Great call today, guys. Like I am excited for tomorrow. You guys are going to bring me some more stuff tomorrow, right?
For sure.
Okay, cool. I'm like, right? You guys are going to bring me some stuff. Yeah, like even if like you guys, like I said, these 2 days are all about just helping you guys with whatever it is that you guys need help with, the main thing is get that conveyor belt moving. If there's nothing else that you guys take away from this call today, is get that conveyor belt moving, because the more that you can get that conveyor belt moving, the faster the results are going to come. Does that make sense for everybody? Like get the conveyor belt moving. That alone will do so much for your business right there. But I will see you guys tomorrow, and love you all. And you guys have a great rest of your night. Y'all all earned your wine or your whiskey tonight.